All right, so here's the AI news you probably missed this week. An internal AI benchmark ended with a real company actually getting compromised. Anthropic launched Opus 5. The push for OpenAI weights gained backing from some of the biggest names in tech. And two other announcements made headlines that I don't think matter just yet. So let's get straight into it. First up, Hugging Face. So starting with the trail itself, Hugging Face's security team reconstructed more than 17,000 recorded events from this incident. And here's the wild part. Hugging Face says defensive AI agents put that whole timeline together in hours, work that would normally take days. So how does a benchmark end with a company actually getting compromised? Watch this. The evaluation gave the models internet access, specifically to measure advanced cyber capability. It ran without the normal production classifiers that would usually catch this kind of behavior. An external target became reachable, and it looked useful for the benchmark's own goal. So the models changed separate weaknesses together into one working attack path against Hugging Face itself. Now, the evaluation deliberately turned down cyber refusals and pointed the model at a narrow benchmark objective, and that explains the setup. It does not undo the fact that a real company got compromised in the process. Here's what that actually means if you're building or running agents yourself. Network egress, credential scope, and tool permissions. That's the short list, and it is non-negotiable now. And sandbox boundaries, anomaly detection, and independent stop conditions. And that's basically the rest of the core design. Here's the thing though. A better agent doesn't just get useful work done faster, it gets unintended work done faster too. A 17,000 event forensic trail rebuilt by AI agents faster than a human response team could manage alone. That right there is this week's clearest proof that capability and risk move together. Next up, Anthropic's Opus 5. Anthropic says Opus 5 holds the same per token price as Opus 4.8, according to its own pricing page. But here's the thing. Price per token is only half the picture for agent work. What actually costs you money is retries, extra tool calls, runs that stall out, and the human correction at the end. The evidence that actually matters here is Frontier Bench and Automation Bench, because both of those score complete multi-step work instead of just a single question and answer. And Opus 5 is already live on Claude's platforms and the API today, which honestly is a testing decision you can make this week. And here's the part Anthropic's own launch post is not going to lead with. A lot of this launch evidence comes from Anthropic and early access partners. And I owe it to you to be honest and truthful about everything I say. So Anthropic itself admits Opus 5 still trails Mythos 5 on cybersecurity tasks. So here's the actual move. Judge Opus 5 by completion cost and how often it needs a human to step in on work that actually looks like your workload. Picture two agent runs finishing the exact same task. One needs 3 retries and a manual fix at the end. The other doesn't. The gap right there is the real cost difference, and it's the number price per token can't show you. A model earns your attention when the completion economics get better on work that actually resembles what you do. That's the economics of using one model. Next up, OpenAI weights. On July 24, a coalition put out a statement pushing for downloadable, adaptable weights across the industry. And Jensen Huang argued that open models strengthen safety, accelerate innovation, and enable sovereignty, which is honestly a pretty notable name to see making that case publicly. Here's why downloadable weights are a market story and not just a technical one. More suppliers, more hosting choices, more bargaining power for whoever's buying. On cost, the real saving isn't picking one cheap model and using it everywhere. It's routing each task to whatever capability actually fits it. On control, organizations keep more say over where the model runs, how it gets fine-tuned, and whether one vendor going down takes down the entire stack with it. But I want to be straight with you guys about what this statement actually is. It's advocacy. It signals industry alignment and policy pressure, not proof that every open weight deployment is cheap, secure, or easy to run yourself. So the move here is to keep your architecture portable. Avoid wiring your whole workflow to one vendor. And track which releases actually ship stable weights, real licenses, and independent evaluation. Picture a company routing its routine, high-volume tasks to a smaller open model, saving the frontier pricing for the work that actually needs it. That's the strategy the statement is really about. Now let's cover the two stories that didn't quite make the cut. Both of these land on the watch list for the exact same reason. No confirmed release yet, and no evidence beyond what the company itself has said. Starting with Gemini. The lighter model in the current lineup might help with high volume and cybersecurity workloads, but the real open question this week is Gemini 3.5 Pro. And there's just no row for it yet. Watch for a confirmed release date, public pricing, and independent coding and agent testing before you treat it as real. Then there's Presence, OpenAI's platform for enterprise voice and chat agents. It bundles policies, simulations, and escalations into one system with permissions, approved actions, and evaluations sitting underneath all of it. Its strongest reported number is a phone support deployment, resolving 75% of inbound issues without a human. It also cut handoffs by 15 percentage points over 10 days. That number, genuinely good number. But, and here's the honest part, it's OpenAI's own deployment. Access is still limited, and every customer gets a hands-on implementation to get there. A strong number in a company's own press release just isn't the same evidence. As an outside party running the same test, watchlist status lifts the moment release dates, pricing, and independent measurement replace the company just telling us. Same standard, both times. Here's the rule I use whenever new AI news drops. Judge every announcement by one question. Did it change capability, risk, or cost and access today, not eventually? For Opus 5, check completion cost and how often it needs a human to step in on your actual workflows against whatever you're running now. For the Hugging Face incident, watch the full investigation, the patch details, and published containment guidance. For open weights, watch for concrete policy action alongside stable, downloadable releases with real licenses attached. And for Gemini, well, you already know the drill by now. If you guys want the exact framework I use to break down AI news every single week, I break it down inside my free school community. Just go and check that out. So that's the news that actually mattered this week. 3 stories that changed what you can build, what you can break, and what you can afford. Go run that framework on whatever drops next.